What makes Breaking Bad one of the best contemporary series is the attention to every detail. Easter eggs, particularities in the scenes, or precision in the dialogues. All elements that you might have missed. Through various examples, we can appreciate the incredible craftsmanship behind this acclaimed show. In Season 5 premiere, we will see Walter White, close to death, unshaven, ordering eggs and bacon in a diner. This innocuous meal choice takes on a deeper significance when viewed through the lens of an odd motif that reoccurs throughout the series, where Walt ends up taking on various characteristics of his victims after he kills them. It first occurs with his first victim, Crazy 8, who demands that the crust be cut off his sandwiches. Walt goes on to adopt this same practice, mirroring the preferences of the man he has killed. Then, after Walter has killed Gus, he takes on a ritual where he puts a towel down before he vomits, something that Gus did when he was poisoned. Further evidence to support this motif comes with how Walt changes his style of drink. After he kills Mike, he takes ice in his drink, a signature touch of Mike's. This subtle shift in Walt's behavior and mannerism serves as haunting reminders of the lives he's taken, as if he is subconsciously absorbing the essence of his victims. The fake ID Walter uses in the diner, with the last name Lambert, a nod to his ex-wife Skylar's maiden name, adds another layer of complexity to this scene. Interestingly, we can also deduce that if it's been exactly 2 years to the day since Walter was diagnosed with cancer, and ironically he ends up dying 2 years after his diagnosis, not from cancer, but from a gunshot. In a flashback from the episode 1 Minute, we are introduced to Hector Salamanca and his young nephews, the twins. Lionel wishes death upon Marco over a dispute, and Hector attempts to drown Marco to teach his brother a lesson, telling him, "How long do you think he has? 1 minute." In the same episode, a mysterious call warns Hank 1 minute before the cousins come to kill him, and Marco dies in the first act of this flashback. Interestingly, Hector is seated on a chair made of wheels, a nod to his later handicap and wheelchair. If you look at the titles for some of the second season's episode, who will notice that they foreshadow the season finale? The season ends with the Boeing 737 plane crash, in which Jane's father, plagued with grief over Jane, causes a mid-air collision and the death of 167 people. And throughout the season, some episodes begin with a flash forward that details the aftermath of the crash. These flash forwards occur in episodes 1, 4, 10, and 13. The titles of these episodes are 737, Down, Over, and ABQ, which technically spells out Boeing 737 down over Albuquerque, essentially foreshadowing the plane crash and its aftermath. In the last episode, Walter meets with Lydia in a cafe and poisons her, arranging a meeting with Jack to free Jesse. Lydia gets scared and tries to leave, but Walter holds her by the arm and asks for just 2 minutes of her time before he leaves, and the time Walter took to make his offer was exactly 2 minutes. As Walter achieves his goals and frees Jesse, he takes a bullet and visits the lab one last time before collapsing. As he tours the machines, he passes a pressure gauge with the manufacturer Weiss, which means white in German, and the gauge reads 86, which signifies getting rid of something. Finally, when Walter collapses, he leaves a blood stain on a boiler in the shape of a W, as if Walter left a bloody mark on this world. The colors in Breaking Bad are meticulously woven into the narrative, with each hue carrying deep symbolic meaning. Let's take a closer look at the color wheel and how it reflects the characters and their journeys. On the color wheel, Walter White would typically be assigned green, representing his greed and desire for money. Interestingly, green is a mix of blue, worn almost exclusively by Skylar White, and yellow, a color often associated with Jesse. This makes Heisenberg a visual representation of the intertwining of these two characters in Walter's life. Hank Schrader, the nemesis and tracker of Walter, is associated with the shades of orange, which sit directly opposite Heisenberg's green on the wheel. Meanwhile, Marie, Hank's wife, is often seen in purple, which sits between Skylar's blue and Hank's orange. The most significant color, however, is yellow, which represents Walter's meth empire and his descent into a life of crime. From Jesse's addiction to the hazmat suits worn during cooking, the color yellow is pervasive throughout the series, even appearing in the Heisenberg tag at the end. Interestingly, on the color wheel, yellow is positioned next to Walter's green and Hank's orange, symbolizing their close proximity to the Empire during the series. In contrast, Marie's purple, which is far removed, sits opposite the yellow. But that's not all. Let's finish with a few colors we haven't talked about. White, obviously, is worn literally by Walter White and his family, symbolizing their innocence at the beginning of the series. The family lives at 308 Negra Arroyo Lane, meaning Black Stream in Spanish. suggesting their future will be darkened. Colors are everywhere, even in the middle of Walter's former company, Gray Matter. At the end of the film El Camino, which concludes Jesse Pinkman's arc, spoiler alert, Jesse wears a white sweater and is surrounded by snow, signifying that he has finally found peace. The use of color in Breaking Bad is a testament to the show's attention to detail, with each hue carefully woven into the narrative to deepen our understanding of the characters and their journeys. Walter celebrates 3 birthdays over the course of the 5-season series. Each birthday episode shows Walter entering the front door of his house, something we may not realize because the episodes are spaced out over the years. Seeing the difference in Walter over these 3 years is quite jarring. This reoccurring motif of Walter's birthday entrances echoes a conversation Jesse and Jane had in Season 2. "You know, I don't get it. Why would anyone paint a picture of a door over and over again, like dozens of times?" Jesse had to ask. To which Jane replied, "But it wasn't the same. It was the same subject, but it was different every time. The light was different. Her mood was different. She saw something new every time she painted it." There are 62 episodes in Breaking Bad, which seems like a normal number of episodes for the 5 seasons of the show. 62 on the periodic table is the chemical element samarium. The element is a huge ingredient in some of the drugs used to fight cancer cells in the treatment of cancers, including lung, prostate, breast, and osteosarcoma. Coincidence? I don't think so. At the beginning of the series, to steal a barrel of methylamine, Walter and Jesse plan to blow up a metal door using thermite, an explosive metallic mixture. While Walter prepares the thermite, he gives a skeptical Jesse a history lesson on its effectiveness. It went something like this. During World War II, the Germans had the largest artillery piece in the world, the Gustav. You could drop bombs on it day after day without ever damaging it, but send a commando or just one man with a packet of thermite and it was over. Okay, fine, but so what? 3 seasons later, Walter doesn't meet a Gustav, but a Gustavo. Starting to see where this is going? His friendly and professional relationship with him deteriorates very quickly to a point where he only has one choice, and it's to eliminate him. However, despite all his efforts, all his attacks, he struggles to reach his former boss. He can continuously drop bombs on him, but nothing can defeat Gus. So Walter finds the only link that attaches this cyborg to his humanity and emotions. He finds that commando, the one man with a jacket of thermites, in the person of Hector Salamanca, and boom. These intricate details and hidden references are a testament to the genius of the writing team behind Breaking Bad.
You're goddamn right.